Good afternoon, my name is Felipe Vélez, and today we're going to review how is it pronounced, how will the words we pronounce in legal English, but also in cyber English. Remember that cyber and legal English come into one term, which is business English. So at the end, when we talk about business English, it's going to be also about electronic computers and any kind of information devices. So when we're talking about the law, we have a mandate, which is a constitution, which is all of that. When we're talking about the cybersecurity, then we have the laws of the computer. So the computer is going to give us specific meanings that come with the context. That context, that pronunciation, that speech comes from work, from everyday work. So all the language that we're going to be practicing, these idioms, this slang, is going to come from the words from the Silicon Valley office. I mean, from people already speaking, already understanding what are these terms about. Okay, very good. So repeat after me, man in the middle.
Man in the middle.
Man in the middle.
Very good. Man in the middle attack.
Man in the middle attack.
Man in the middle attack.
It's a cyber attack where the attacker secretly relays and possibly alters pronunciation. Alters, no alters. Because
Alters.
Mexicans, we tend to use the A as the A because we're A, E, I, O, U. Yes, but not in English, okay? So we don't say alters. No, we say alter. Pronunciation, alter.
Alter.
Very
Alter.
good. Okay, so cyber attack where the attacker secretly relays and possibly alters the communication between the two parties who believe they're directly communicating with each other. Again, pronunciation dulce, a cyber attack.
Cyber attack where the attacker secretly
Secretly
relays and possible alters the communication between two parties who believe they are directly communicating with each other.
Fernando?
I can see, teacher. I don't got it in my glasses.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. So a cyber attack where the attacker secretly relays and possibly alters the communication between two parties who believe they're directly communicating with each other. Very good. So next, then we're going to have pen test, penetration pen test. So we say pen testing. It's a new verb. So we say pen testing, and the past is going to be pen tested. Pen tested. Okay. So what is penetration test? Is pen testing. So we say the exploitation of a valid computer session to gain unauthorized access to information or services in a computer system. Okay, Dulce, the exploitation.
The exploitation of a valid computer session to gain unauthorized.
Unauthorized. Again, pronunciation, unauthorized.
Unauthorized
Again,
access.
unauthorized.
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 Very good.
Unauthorized.
Again, unauthorized.
Unauthorized.
Very good. Access to information or services.
Access to information or services in a computer system.
Very good. Very good. So, vulnerability. What's a vulnerability? What's a vulnerability? What's a vulnerability? What's a vulnerability? A weakness. A vulnerability is a weakness. A vulnerability is a weakness. A vulnerability is a weakness, which can be exploited by a threat actor. Okay, Dulce? A weakness. Dulce?
A witness.
Very good. Which can be exploited by a threat actor.
We can exploit a threat actor.
Which can be exploited. Again, pronunciation, exploited.
Exploded.
Very good. By a threat actor. So vulnerability is a weakness. So it's the opposite of being strong. So we have strong and then we have weak. So we say weakness. So what's a vulnerability? It's a weakness. Very simple. So try to build concepts, try to build pronunciations, try to build connotations that are very simple to understand. If you build something very elaborate, then it's going to be a confusing terminology. Okay. So again, Dulce, are you there? No. Okay, so another thing that we have here is whitelisting. Again, pronunciation, whitelisting.
Whitelisting.
Very good. Whitelisting is a cybersecurity strategy under which a user can only take actions of their computer that an administrator has explicitly allowed. So let's go again. Vulnerability, weakness. The opposite of weakness is strong. So weakness, which can be exploited by a threat actor. Whitelisting is an strategy. So it's a strategy under a user can only take actions on their computer that administrator has explicitly allowed. So I will elaborate in Spanish so we can understand the terminology of this. So, una vulnerabilidad. When we build a terminology, it has to be simple. A vulnerability is a weakness, es una debilidad. A vulnerability is a weakness. Vulnerabilidad, weakness, weakness, debilidad, which can be exploited by a threat actor. Exploited, pronunciation, exploited. Puede ser explotada by a threat actor. So this is when it comes to say that we have an exploit. It means the weakness already surveilled and understood. So exploited, exploit. So, entonces, cuando decimos que tenemos un exploit, es la debilidad misma. Whitelisting. Whitelisting es una estrategia contraria. Es una estrategia de ciberseguridad. Whitelisting. Lo opuesto a whitelisting es blacklisting, porque es con negro. Blacklisting, whitelisting. Entonces vamos a la primera estrategia de ciberseguridad, que es whitelisting. A cybersecurity strategy under which a user can only take actions. Una estrategia de ciberseguridad. Pronunciation of cybersecurity. 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 Okay.
Cybersecurity.
That's correct.
Cybersecurity.
Very good. So a cybersecurity strategy under which a user can only take actions on their computer that an administrator has explicitly allowed. Whitelisting es una estrategia de ciberseguridad en la cual un usuario puede tomar acciones de una computadora que un administrador solamente ha permitido explícitamente. So we say explicitly allowed. Allowed, permitido. Allowed, authorized. 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 Allowed. Allowed. Non-authorized. No autorizado. Non-allowed. Son sinónimos. Allowed. Authorized. Allowed. Authorized. Allowed. Authorized. Allowed.
Okay.
Authorized. Very good. Next. Data breach. Data. No data. No data. Data is Spanish. Okay. So it's data. We say data breach. Data breach. Data breach. Data breach. Data breach. Data breach. Data breach.
Data breach.
Again, pronunciation. Data breach.
Data breach.
Data breach.
Data breach. Data breach.
Data breach.
Data breach. Data
Data
breach.
breach.
Data breach. Data breach. So it's a security incident. Simple. What is data breach? It's a security incident. First and foremost, always build little terminologies, little concepts. So again, data breach, data breach, data breach, a security incident. What is data breach? It's 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 a security incident. Okay, Fernando, what is data breach?
Is a security incident
That's
in
it.
which
Very good.
information is accessed without authorization.
That's it. but we only say very small things. So it's an access without, it's an access. It's an incident of security. It's an incident, it's a security incident. It's a security incident. Very good.
Okay.
Dulce, a security incident.
A security incident in which information is accessed.
Accessed. Again, pronunciation. Accessed.
Is
Accessed.
accessed without authorization.
Authorization. Again.
Authorization.
Authorization. Unauthorized. Authorization. Again, Dulce. Data breach.
Data breach, a security incident in which information is accessed without authorization.
Very good. Fairly good. Excellent. Now let's go to the next one. Honeypot. Honeypot. Very good. What's honeypot? It's a computer security mechanism set to detect, deflect, or in some manner counteract, counteract. Again, pronunciation, honeypot.
Honeypot.
Very good. Carlos, are you there?
Yes, a computer security mechanism set to detect, deflect, or in some manner counteract.
Okay, listen and repeat after me. A computer security mechanism set to detect. When we have two consonants, all of these S sounds, they're going to become into E sound. So we say detect, again, deflect. So the F sound is very strong. So we say detect, deflect. Continue, please. Yes.
A computer security mechanism. Mechanism set to detect, deflect, or some manner counteract.
Very good. A computer security mechanism set to detect, deflect, or in some manner counteract attempts at unauthorized use of information system. So it's very important that we say that is for and an information system. Very good, Carlos. Now let's continue with the next one. Multi-factor authentication, we call it MFA. So the MFA is also going to be a verb. So we say, oh, it was MFA'd because it's in past. So it means that it went through a multi-factor authentication. So it means that somebody already checked this authorization usage. So it says a methodology for handling security breaches or cyber attacks, including the identification, investigation, and remediation of the incident. Again, a methodology for handling security breaches or cyber attacks, including the identification, investigation, and remediation of the incident. Ending, always pronounce all the words. Make sure your word is all complete, so it outlines. Again, methodology. Dulce, a methodology.
A methodology for handling security breach or cyber attacks, including the identification, investigation, and remediation of the incident.
Not bad. Good. Okay, Fernando.
Multi-factor authentication is MFA.
MFA. Very important. Why we need to say the acronym? Because this acronym, then it becomes a verb. So we say, oh, did you MFA it? Yeah, I did. Oh, it's an MFA, so it's a verb. I know it's not a verb, but in cybersecurity, then it becomes a verb. Like AI, oh, don't AI me. So it means that I'm using artificial intelligence on the person. So did you MFA it? I MFA it? Yeah. Did you use multi-factor authentication method? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. Very good. Continue, please. A methodology.
A methodology for handling security breach or cyber attacks, including the identification, investigation, and remediation of the incident. Presentation are tools.
Are tools, pronunciation tools
Tools.
that can be used as lectures, speeches, reports, and more.
Can be used as lecture, speeches, reports, and more.
Very good. Okay, Carlos, multi-factor authentication MFA.
Multi-factor authentication MFA, a methodology for handling security breaches or cyber attacks, including the identification, investigation, and remediation of the incident.
Not bad. Now repeat after me. Methodology for handling.
Methodology.
Methodology for handling.
For handling security breaches or cyber attacks, including the identification, investigation, and remediation of the incident.
Very good. Now here, let's start with a security. A security system.
A security system that requires more than one method of authentication from independent categories of credentials to verify.
To verify.
To verify.
So we're gonna identify and verify the information. Okay, very good. So I'm gonna close this one and I'm gonna upgrade the other one. So remember that MFA is the verb. Okay, it's not meant to be the verb, but that's how we use it anymore. So we said, did you MFA it? So yes, I MFA'd it. So it means that you use the information, you use the multi-factor information, you made it first. So every time that you used any information, anytime you use some regards information that is used, so probably you can use a presentation. Maybe there is a key element of it. So every time that you MFA something, it's a multi-factor authentication to know that it's you. So it can be a message to your cell phone. It can be a message to your email. It can be some security questions. So all of this information, it has to be on regards of the information matter. So if the information wasn't portrayed correctly, if the information lacks of any understanding, it means that only you can understand it. So then we're having a trouble. So on cybersecurity, remember, not all the information is ready to be served. And it's not ready to be shared. It's not ready to be presented. So every time that we have a pronunciation, every time that we have something that we don't understand, go to the following letter. Try to see beyond. Try to see what is going to be used. So for all of this kind of usage, we're going to use the phonology chart. Try to use the phonology chart to understand better how the pronunciation is going to start. Okay, so today, this is from Monday 14, but let's try to review it so we can go in the same page, everybody. So here we go and present it. Okay, so as I was saying, when you're learning a language, any language that you want to understand, French, Spanish, there has to be an international way to do it, right? So there's international methodology to learn a new language and pronounce everything correctly. Then you use a phonemic chart, okay? So we're gonna use a phonemic chart, also known as the phonetical alphabet, which is called an international alphabet. For the human speaking beings, is used to transcribe any kind of languages, okay? So we always have to check how every sound is pronounced. Next. In this case, we're gonna go very quick, and then you're going to investigate what is the meaning of oclusiva, bilabial sorda, oclusiva, bilabial sonora, but we're gonna check all of these pronunciations according how it is pronounced with the word. So repeat after me, everyone. Pat.
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 Pat,
Hat.
pat, po. So you use with your lips here, Carlos. So you use pat.
Pat.
Very good. Then we use bat.
Bat.
Very good. Then we say top.
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 Good. Dog,
Dog.
Dog.
cat.
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 Now we're gonna concentrate on the sound, which is oclusiva,
Cat.
velar sonora, which is dog.
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 Right. Then when
Right.
we don't know something, here in the United States they say, huh? Again, pronunciation, huh?
Huh.
Huh?
Huh.
Okay, sounds good to me. Then let's go to the other sounds. The next sound is going to be I sound, but we're gonna pronounce it like E sound. So again, pronunciation hit,
Hit.
Hit.
bet,
Bet.
Bat.
but.
Bat.
Okay, huh?
Huh.
Then we're gonna have the next sound. The next sound is going to be caught.
Caught.
Sound, caught.
Hot.
Not,
Not.
Not.
boot,
Boot.
Hood.
boot.
Boot.
Every time we have this double O sound, always we're gonna pronounce the U sound. So it's profound. So we say boot,
Boot.
boot, boot.
Boot.
Very good. Then we're gonna say caught.
Caught.
Listen to this difference. This is caught,
Caught.
and this is opening your mouth, all your tongue. So you say caught.
Caught.
For us, I mean, in Spanish, to be honest, it's the same. It's the same sound, but it's different in English. So you say caught. You go down. Caught.
Caught.
And this is loud voice. You open your mouth and say caught. Okay. Next. Fricative. Fricative sounds are gonna be shh. That's what we call fricative sound. So we say she,
She.
Tree.
She.
measure,
Measure.
Measure.
hat,
Measure.
Hat.
let,
Let.
Let.
red,
Red.
Red.
we.
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 Very good. Then we're gonna say you.
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 So the sound that we're gonna pronounce is j sound. And see how we identify the sound with the J sound, which is this sound. So we say you.
You.
Good. Let's go to the next one. Very quick. Mum,
Mum.
Mom.
not,
Not.
Not.
long.
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 So every time we're gonna say ng, we're gonna have this symbol, which is nk, nk, nk. Then we have another fricative sound. So the fricative sound is going to be fish. Again, pronunciation, fish,
Fish.
French.
fish.
Fish.
When we have a PH sound, it sounds different, okay? For example, listen to this. Phishing, which is a cybersecurity, we say phishing, phishing. So we explode, we say phishing. When we go to the sea and take fishes, so then the sound, it goes to us. So we say fishing, fishing. So we say, fishing.
Fashion.
Fishing.
Okay, very good. View,
View.
View.
thin.
View.
This is what we call a fricative dental. Why is it a fricative dental? Because first is not in Spanish. So we say, so all this air, it goes through your mouth, and you pronounce it with your teeth. So you say thin.
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 Okay. Now it's the opposite. The fricative dental sound, it means that it's sonora. So then you're gonna use to stop the sound. So you say that,
That.
That.
that,
That.
That.
that,
That.
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 Okay. Then we're going to say the fricative sorda. This is fricative because you don't listen to it. So you say sí.
Sí.
In Spanish, we use for everything. But here, it's very difficult. So we try not to pronounce it. So we say sí.
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 Okay, very good. Then let's go to the fricative alveolar, which is using the z sound. So we say z, again, pronunciation zoo,
Do.
zoo,
Do.
zoo,
Soup.
zoo.
Zoo.
Very good, very good. Exactly. Next, now let's use it for the terms in cybersecurity. Listen to this pronunciation with phishing, explode. With you have PH, you explode. If you had an F, you close your mouth. Okay, so phishing, again, pronunciation, phishing.
Fishing.
Again, phishing,
Phishing.
malware,
Malware.
Malware.
ransomware,
Ransomware.
botnet,
Botnet.
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 Again, botnet,
Botnet.
DDoS.
DDoS.
Very good. Again, DDoS.
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 Correct. 0 day,
0 day.
rootkit,
Rootkit.
Rootkit.
spoofing,
Spoofing.
Spoofing.
worm,
Worm.
Worm.
Trojan,
Trojan.
Trojan.
backdoor,
Backdoor.
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 exploit.
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 Very good. From the beginning, phishing, malware, ransomware, botnet, DDoS, 0 day, rootkit, spoofing, worm, Trojan, backdoor, exploit. Carlos, start. Phishing,
Phishing. Malware. Ransomware. Botnet. DDoS.
no, DDoS,
DDoS. 0 day.
0 day,
0 day. Rootkit. Spoofing. Worm. Trojan. Backdoor. Exploit.
exploit. Important the E sound, exploit.
Exploit.
Yeah, because explosion is another thing. Exploit is the weakness of the system. Very good. Now, Fernando, please. Phishing,
Phishing. Malware. Ransomware. Botnet. DDoS. 0 day. Rootkit. Spoofing.
rootkit,
Rootkit. Spoofing. Worm. Trojan. Backdoor. Exploit.
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 See the pronunciation here. It's here. Exploit.
Exploit.
Correct. Dulce, phishing. Open your mouth. Phishing,
Phishing. Malware. Ransomware. Botnet. DDoS. 0 day. Rootkit. Spoofing. Worm. Trojan. Backdoor. Exploit.
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 Everybody here. Exploit,
Exploit.
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 All right. So then let's use these words in context. When you give an order, a command, something that it has to be done, you use the word up. Okay. For example, shield up. So it means shield up. Do the action of putting the shield up. It's the same as in firewall. So you say firewall up. Again, pronunciation, firewall up.
Firewall.
Again, firewall up.
Firewall.
Follow-up.
Very good. So it means to do it now. Do it in this moment. Firewall up. Okay. Now repeat after me. In the wild.
In the
In the
wild.
wild.
In the wild.
In
In
the
the
In the
wild.
wild.
So if the malicious software is already active, attacking real things, the system, it's already outside. Remember, most of the words we're going to be using here comes from biology. It comes from virology. Okay. So virology terminology is also going to be used in cybersecurity. Okay. Again, pronunciation, catfishing. See, I close my mouth in catfishing because it's a fish. Again, catfishing.
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 Excellent. Beautiful pronunciation. That is. Okay. So in other terms is there are no cats that are fishes. Okay. That's why a cat that is a fish doesn't exist. So, and if it does exist, it's too good to be important, right? So that's why we call catfish. For example, oh, so you're a blonde girl, blue eyes, and then it's a man outside. That's catfishing. Okay. Okay. Now repeat after me. Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Very good. Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
In the code.
Again, cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Very good. Fishing for information.
Phishing for information.
Phishing for information.
Fishing
Very
for
good.
information.
So when you crack the code is to actually solve the matter. When you crack the code is because you understood it. So you can say, so you cracked it. I cracked it. You cracked it now. I cracked it. It's done. I hacked it. One thing is to hack, is to have, to control. To crack it is that you solved it. There is a solution. Okay, I cracked it, man. I cracked it. So you say, I cracked it. Firewall up. Again, pronunciation, firewall up.
Firewall up.
Firewall up.
So, oh my God, we're being attacked. Firewall up. Do it now, down, at this moment. Every time you see the word up, it's now. Okay, Roberto, firewall up.
Firewall up.
In the wild.
In the wild.
Catfishing.
Catfishing.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Fishing for information.
Phishing for information.
Very good. Dulce, firewall up.
Firewall up. In the wild. Catfishing. Cracking the code. Phishing information. For information.
Exactly. Very good. Fernando, firewall up.
Firewall up. Firewall up.
In the wild.
In the wild.
Continue. Catfishing.
Catfishing.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Cracking the code.
Fishing for information.
Fishing for information.
You actually always tell me you're the cracker because you solved it. You got it. Very good.
Yep.
Then we say clean as a whistle. Listen to me. Listen to this conversation when you sleep. Clean. Clean. Clean as a whistle.
As a whistle.
Very good. Clean as a whistle.
As a whistle.
Again.
Clean as a whistle.
Very good. Everybody, clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle.
Under the hood.
Under the hood.
Under
Under
the
the
hood.
hood.
Very good. Locking down.
Looking down.
Locking down.
Locking down.
Listen to this as well. So you say lock down, lock down, lock down the system, locking down the system, lock down the system, firewall up, lock down the system, firewall up. It means command. There are commands you have to do it now. Okay. On the front lines. Again, pronunciation. On the front lines.
On the
On the
front.
front
On
line.
the front lines.
Again, on the front lines.
On the front
On the
line.
front
On
line.
the front lines.
That's right. Pat things up.
Fan.
Patch.
Huh? Everybody, repeat after me. Patch.
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 Patch. Things up.
Patch.
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 Patch. Like if you're in a dark patch, it's patch again. Patch.
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 Things up.
Things up.
Things up.
Things up.
Okay, now just one word. Make it quick. Patch things up.
Patch.
Patch things up.
Things up.
Again, patch things up.
Patch.
Patch
things
things
up.
up.
Okay, Dulce. Clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle.
Under the hood.
Under the hood.
Locking down.
Down. Looking down.
Locking down. Again, locking down.
Looking down.
Locking. Not look. Looking is look. No. Locking.
Locking down.
Yes. So there is a protection. Lock, it means protection. Again, locking down.
Locking down.
Very good. On the front lines.
On the front line.
Patch things up.
And things up. And
No. Again, patch. Open your mouth.
Patch.
Patch.
Patch things up.
That's right. Very good. Okay. Carlos, clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle, under the hood, locking down on the front lines, patch things up.
Yes, but now make it more gradual. Up, patch things up.
Patch things up.
Okay, hold on here. Things up. Why? Because it's a command. It's an order. Again, patch things up.
Patch things up.
Very good. Next, MFA. Again, pronunciation MFA.
MFA.
Everybody, pronunciation MFA.
MFA.
Good. So we have multi-factor authentication. Now let's see how we're going to use the verb in simple form plus the complement. Every time we have a sentence, we have to identify the subject, the verb, and the complement. In cybersecurity, there might be 1 or 3 sentences in one sentence. So we have to check how is the meaning and check the grammar. Very important, the grammar. Every time that we use language in cybersecurity, most of the time it's going to be in simple form because you're doing it or you do it every time. If you're doing it at this moment, we use it present progressive. It means it's happening at this moment, or present continuous is the same thing. Simple present is going to be facts, things, commands that you put in the computer. So if you're going to put something in the computer, are things that happen, okay? So here we have companies firewall up networks to protect against cyber attacks. So we have to understand that companies are the subject. Companies firewall up. So firewall up, it's a connected verb, okay? We call it a compound verb because it has an adverb. Up is an adverb. It gives the meaning to the verb. So their networks, what networks? Their networks, so that is the complement. To protect, so you see, now you have another sentence. So you separate that sentence, you separate the sentence. So it's to protect against cyber attacks. So when you pronounce, you have to separate the sentences. Subject, verb, complement. Subject, verb, complement. Subject, verb, complement. So you say, companies firewall up the networks to protect against cyber attacks. Okay, Dulce, pronunciation. Companies firewall up their networks.
Companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Against.
Against cyber attacks. Against cyber attacks.
Very good. Carlos, companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Okay, you use a lot of Spanish every day. So now here in English, let's try to use sounds a little less. Okay, no more. So you said, listen to me. Companies firewall up their network to protect against cyber attacks. Try not to pronounce the S. Go fast, but don't pronounce the S as much as possible because you have to pronounce it, but not much. Okay, again, companies firewall up the networks to protect against cyber attacks. Go, Roberto, please.
Companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Almost. Okay, again, companies firewall up.
Companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Against
Cyber attacks.
This is like an S sound. Against. Like gangster, but we say against
cyber attacks.
Beautiful. Again, companies firewall up the networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Again, companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Beautiful. Dulce, companies firewall up the networks to protect against cyber attacks. More natural. Fluent.
Companies firewall up their networks to protect against cyber attacks.
Fernando.
Companies firewall the networks to protect against cyber attacks.
That's beautiful. Now let's go next. It's in the wild. Let's see how we use the S sound That's why, Roberto, you have to be very careful with the S sounds, because if you put the S where it doesn't belong, then you give another meaning to the sentence, okay? So, example, malware. So the subject is the malware. Malware is not a she, it's not a woman, it's not a he, so it's an it, it's a thing, it's a virus. So it's a malware often is an adverb, okay? Because it gives time. So malware often becomes. So you use the sound because you're using the simple present. So malware often becomes more dangerous. Sound, dangerous. When it is, so you use is sound, is in the wild. Okay, so repeat after me, Fernando. Malware often becomes more dangerous
often becomes more dangerous
when it is in the wild.
when it's in the wild.
When it is in the wild.
When it's in the wild.
It is.
It is
It is.
in the wild. It is in the wild.
Okay, very good. Dulce, malware often becomes more dangerous when it is in the wild.
Malware often becomes more dangerous when it is in the wild.
It is in the wild. Again, it is.
It is in the wild.
More? Give me more? More.
It is in the wild.
Yes, but now the complete sentence. Malware often becomes more dangerous when it is in the wild.
Malware often becomes more dangerous when it is in the wild.
Very good. Now, Roberto, malware?
Malware often becomes more dangerous when it is in the wild.
Perfect. Very good. Now, the last one, please. Catfishing. See how I pronounce phishing? Not, I don't explode. It's different, so it's close. So it's catfishing, okay? Catfishing deceives. So again, here we have the verb deceive, which is to fool, to cheat, or to say, to do something that goes against the truth. So it's, you're trying to get something out of it. So catfishing deceives people, deceives people, deceives. So catfishing is an activity, but it's an activity, so it becomes a thing. Okay, so if it becomes a thing, then you use it. So catfishing deceives people. Okay, so who deceives? The people. So that, there you go, the sentence. Catfishing deceives people. People. Catfishing deceives people. Deceives people into believing. There is another sentence, so it's another verb. So into believing false identities online. So you separate, you pronounce faster, but you stop when it comes into the next one. So again, catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online. Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online. I stop, but just real quick. So catfishing deceives people into believing, then you stop. False identities online. Okay, Dulce, catfishing.
Catfishing deceives. Catfishing
Again. Come on, Dulce. Deceives. Exactly. Very good.
People into believing false identities online. Identities.
Yeah, because it's alone. Every time we use an alone sound, we say identities online. Again, Dulce. Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online.
Catfishing deceives people
Deceives.
Deceives people into believing false identities.
Do it again.
Identities online.
Again. Catfishing
deceives,
Deceives.
deceives
Smile.
people.
Smile.
Guys,
Smile. Again.
deceives. Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online.
Very good. Carlos.
Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online.
False. Here, this a, we're going to pronounce it like a false.
False identities online.
Okay, one more time, please. Catfishing.
Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online.
Perfect. Fernando.
Catfishing deceives people into believing false.
False. This is a no sound. Again, false.
False identities online.
Identities.
Identities online.
Again, catfishing.
Catfishing devices people into believing.
Deceives.
Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities. False identities online.
Nope. Again, from the beginning, catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online.
Catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online.
Identities.
Identities online.
Very good. So when we deny, we say the opposite. We say does not. So we use the auxiliary does and not. So you use catfishing deceives people into believing false identities online. Okay, that will be the end of this conversation. That will be the end of this class. I'll see you tomorrow from 9 to 10. See you tomorrow.
See you, teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Good night.